Hey guys, good morning. It's attorney Sean Brennan with the Accident Recovery Team, and we are here on the podcast talking today about medical care. Talking today about what to do after you get in an accident and what to do particularly with regard to seeing the doctor. You know, what you need to do to get better. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time today talking about some of the most common questions we get about seeing the doctor after some sort of an injury accident. You know, one of the primary things that happens after an accident is EMS. The ambulance rolls up on the scene. And, you know, a lot of people refuse EMS. And they do that because they are concerned about that bill. And, you know, the bill is not going to be insignificant. I mean, an EMS ambulance ride bill is going to cost you in Sedgwick County, Kansas, somewhere around $700 to $1,000 probably to get you to one of our local trauma centers. And that's not an insignificant bill. But here's what I want people to remember when you get into an accident. Your auto insurance policy has benefits that will pay for that initial medical care. So you've got benefits. You've got something called PIP coverage. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. You might have something called MedPay coverage on top of that. So if you have auto insurance, don't turn down the ambulance because you are concerned about the bill, because you have got some benefits on your auto policy that will pay for that ambulance ride. So go ahead and take the ambulance ride if you think you need it. Don't pass on it just because of the bill. Second thing that oftentimes comes up is what to do after you've been to the ER. You know, some people have a relationship with a family doctor and they want to go ahead and follow up with them, and that's absolutely fine. That's a great thing to do, and that makes total sense. Other people come in and they say, man, I haven't been to the doctor in 15 years. I don't know my doctor's first name. I don't know his phone number. What do I do? And, you know, there's options there. One thing is, if you find yourself in need of a doctor, that's a good reason to go establish a relationship with a family doctor. You know, go meet him or her, find out what their name is, establish an ongoing relationship so they can help you out, not just now, but down the road. The other option is there are doctors who sort of specialize in treating people after an automobile accident. And if you have a lawyer, your lawyer can give you those names. You can also look them up online and, you know, go to one of those people. And that sort of specialty has kind of developed because the billing situation for an auto accident is different than it is if you go in for a cold or the flu. And some of these clinics have really developed the procedures in place to help them bill this kind of a medical need. And so they do a lot of auto accident injuries because they have that billing system down. So going to one of those types of providers is also a good option. The overriding concern, though, that people have when they come in is, you know, hey, I've already been through EMS, I've been to the ER, I've seen my family doctor. Man, how am I going to pay for all this? And so I want to rope back a little bit to talking about something we talked about a few moments ago, which is PIP coverage. PIP stands for Personal Injury Protection, and it's a part of every auto policy in the state of Kansas. It, or something like it, is a part of almost every auto policy in the country. So if you're driving a car, if you're a passenger in a car, and that car has insurance on it, you're going to have PIP coverage. You're going to have the ability to get into the doctor. So don't let that hold you back from getting the medical care you need to get. The typical policy in Kansas is going to have medical benefits of $4,500. It is also going to pay wage loss if you can't go to work. It is going to provide what's called essential services benefits, meaning, you know, you need someone to go mow the yard, you need someone to help clean the house. Your auto policy will have provisions that will cover all that under this PIP coverage. Now, $4,500, candidly, isn't going to get you very far. Going to EMS, going to the ER, following up with the doctor. But there are policies that have higher limits than that. There are policies that go, you know, all the way up to about $27,500. So to find out what kind of PIP coverage you have, you could talk to your lawyer. Your lawyer can find that out for you right away and give you that information. You can also look at the policy sort of the stack of paperwork that your auto agent gave you when you bought the policy. It would be in there. You can call your auto insurance company. Sometimes that conversation is a little more complicated than you want it to be. You can call your agent and get that information. But knowing how much PIP coverage you have is really a key thing to know right after an auto accident, because you want to be sure those bills are taken care of. You want to be sure that you've got enough sort of in your pocket to take care of those initial medical bills. So here's the thing, though, you need to remember about PIP. If your auto insurance company pays you PIP benefits, they're sort of the first payer in line, right? They're the ones who are going to step forth and pay these bills right after the auto accident. But, and there is a but, and the but is that when you settle your claim with the other auto insurance company, the person that hurt you, your auto insurance company is going to want that PIP money back. They are going to say, hey, if you just collected $20,000 from that at-fault insurance company and we paid $4,000 up front for your medical bills, we want our $4,000 back. And that has to be paid back. That is called a lien. L-E-I-N, L-I-E-N, your insurance company has a lien. And what that means is that they have a right to get the money back from you. So a lien is something that has to be addressed at the conclusion of your case. Sometimes that can be waived. Sometimes there's a legal argument that you can put forth saying, no, I'm not paying you back. And here are the reasons why. Whether your case is one that that lien is enforceable on or not, whether you have to pay that back, that's a conversation you really should have with a lawyer, because you don't always need to pay that back. And absolutely, you don't want to be paying that auto insurance company money that they don't have a right to get back in the first place. So before you settle it, having a conversation with a lawyer about that lien is a pretty important thing to do. So let's say, though, that you have PIP and you use up your PIP benefits. You use up all the $4,500 and those benefits are gone. What next? You still need to go to the doctor. So after your PIP benefits are used up, your auto carrier is going to send you something called an exhaustion letter saying, hey, your benefits are exhausted. When you get that exhaustion letter is the ticket to get your health insurance company, if you have health insurance, to start paying your bills. Got to give them that exhaustion letter, and that is their notice that, hey, the first rung, the first amount of money is gone. Second amount of money, health insurance carrier, is you, and you need to start paying the bills. And they should start paying once they get that exhaustion letter. Here's the other thing to remember. Sometimes your health insurance company will have a lien. A PIP carrier, your auto insurance company, is always going to have the right to assert a lien. Your health insurance company doesn't always have that right. They do sometimes. And to know whether or not your health insurance company has a legitimate right to get money back from you, you really need to get into the weeds sort of in your health insurance policy, and you need to find out how that health insurance is paid for through your employer, if it is through your employer, to know whether they really have a right to get paid back. Here's the deal. A lot of these health insurance companies will send you a letter saying, hey, we want our money back. They don't all have a right to get it back. So before you write them a big check or before you allow some of your settlement funds to get transferred over to them, you really need to do a little investigation. Talk to a lawyer, have the lawyer do a little investigation to find out whether they really have a right to get that money back. From beginning to end, these issues involving an auto accident or a work comp injury have snags. They have things that can trip you up. They have things that are somewhat complicated. If you have a question about anything like that, here's the deal. It doesn't cost anything to call one of the people at the accident recovery team and ask a question. It's not going to cost you any money. We're not going to charge you. We are going to get some information from you so that we can give you some good, meaningful advice so you know what to do. If you have a work comp injury, or you have an auto accident, or you were hurt by a dangerous product, or whatever it may be, and you have a question about what your rights are, or how you can go about collecting, or who you have to pay back after you collect, that's something that we want to help you with, and that's something that I think we can provide you good advice on. If you want to get a hold of the Accident Recovery Team, our number is 316-267-TEAM. Our website is 267team.com. Any of us here would be happy to talk to you and answer any questions you might have. Thank you, everybody. I hope everyone stays safe during the coronavirus quarantine period. If you need anything answered, if you need questions about resources that are available, we can also give you some direction on that. So feel free to give us a call. Wish everybody well. Thank you so much. The lawyers of the Accident Recovery Team are licensed in Kansas and Kansas only. If you are unfortunate enough to live somewhere other than the great state of Kansas and have questions about an auto accident or an injury accident of any kind, you can still call the Accident Recovery Team, and we can partner with an attorney in your state to help you get the representation you need. The Accident Recovery Team can be found at 267team.com or by calling 1-866-267-TEAM.